Hey friends, thanks for clicking on this video and joining in on a continuing conversation. And that conversation has to do with making your cap and ball revolvers hit the point of aim. Now, over the years, I've watched an awful lot of YouTube videos, and I've really only come across two channels that talk about or advocate for making your cap and ball revolvers hit the point of aim. And that's Mike Bellevue, Duelist 1954, and the Old Ranger. And I've talked about it myself. But as far as like Guns of the West, Duke Fraser, some of those well-known channels, I've never come across any video to where they've talked about making these guns hit the point of aim. And that's their opinion. That's fine. But I'm of the opinion, and especially since I carry my cap and ball revolvers when I go out hunting, go out hiking, I carry these. So I need to have these things hit the point of aim, because if I inadvertently get between a mama bear and her cub, and I do have to pull this weapon, I don't want to be thinking as I'm shitting my pants, I got to aim 14 inches low to hit the center of the head. Or if you get in between a wild boar and its cubs, you don't want to be thinking as you're shitting your pants, 14 inches low. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be able to draw your revolver, cock it back, and look at your sights like that and squeeze the trigger. I mean, quite honestly, if you bought a brand new Glock 19 and you take it to the range and you see that it's not hitting the point of aim, what are you going to do? Well, yeah, you might invest in some Novak sights. You're going to put better sights on them if you can adjust the sights as they sit on your gun right there. And that's with any semi-automatic gun. You're going to make that gun hit the point of aim. And I'm an advocate of that with cap and ball revolvers, even if it's dovetailing in a Remington front sight. So, the other day, when I had some powder left over, I needed to get rid of it. I did some shooting. I invited everybody along. I also shot through my chronograph. And as you can see, with the more powerful gunpowder, everything started shooting much, much lower. Okay? Even the Mullen and the Mullen Mesquite blend shot even lower than the Pacific Willow Osage. But I was shooting a much more powerful gunpowder, whereas when I sighted this gun in, I was using my Juniper, which is a weaker black powder. So I decided yesterday to do some shooting once I get the Remington front sight dovetailed in. These were the first 3 shots. These were the next 3 shots. And then I did a little bit more filing, adjusted the windage, and I started printing right here. And I was using my Mullen Mesquite blend to do this, okay? So once I started realizing I can't determine what's hitting where, I turned the target upside down, and I started doing this. But as you can see, the gun's getting a little dirty. I didn't clean the gun one time. I just kept shooting it dirty. Then I made another little target up here, run a brush through the bore at that time, cleaned it out a little bit, and then I started getting closer to the point of impact. But then I realized I probably better go and clean the gun, just simply because if you're out and about and you have to draw this is going to be a fresh, clean cylinder. It's not going to have been shot, I don't know, 10 times. You're going to just pull it and shoot it, and it's going to be a clean cylinder, a clean barrel, and everything else. So I thought, well, this morning I would do that. And I did. And I didn't really have to do any height adjustment with it at all. All I did was just kind of like profile it a little bit better for what my eyes are used to seeing. Okay. Now the target I'm about to show you, the first 2 cylinders, I finished off the Pacific Willow Osage blend. And then my last cylinder, my 3rd cylinder, was with my Mesquite Peanut Shell blend. So what I'm about to show you at 16 yards with a pillow rest, 18 shots. With the exception of number 1 and number 12, which I knew I pulled. I knew I pulled those. Everything else is right there. I'd say my revolver's sighted in. Now I will tell you what I've been doing along the way with this particular revolver. The pull on the trigger is a little tight, so every time I come in and clean it, I take my honing stone and I run 10 swipes across the top of that trigger where it sets into the hammer, so that I can lighten that pull up a little bit. So that's what I've been doing. I don't recommend anybody do that. That's what I do. And I also bought another cylinder for this gun. I kind of like the color contrast, but more importantly, I discovered on the original factory cylinder, you go back to this channel, you see I had some issues with it chattering as it cocked, as it was running, you know, in when the bolt come up and went into the lock. Well, since then, 2 of those stops became real loose. And it's really weird because in my other Pietta Sheriff's model, they're tight. I can't figure that out, but I really don't care to figure it out because this one here locks up real tight, and this is the cylinder that's going to stay with this revolver. So anyhow, I want to thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I wish that I would have recorded this, but for me, I carry my cap and ball revolvers when I'm in the woods in particular. And when you're practicing shooting at a human-sized target and you're shooting at center of mass, you really don't need to be aiming at the bottom of that target. You really should work with the sights to get them hit the point of impact. Because in a situation when your nerves are running high, you're not going to be thinking for 1 second as that mama bear or anything is chasing you. You're not going to be thinking, I better be aiming at the belt buckle to hit the heart. That's not how you shoot your modern day guns. You adjust those sights so that that modern day gun prints where you're aiming at. Just some food for thought, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in another video. Bye.